things are starting to get uncovered, my people. Gable Stevenson, one of the hottest prospects out of the UFC right now, who will be in the UFC by 2026, has been on one of the hottest runs outside of the UFC, having secured 3 first-round knockouts in his last 3 fights, with a record of 3-0, having knocked out every single guy with 1 month in between. Yes, he fought in October. He fought in September, October, and November. Just like that. A guy who just competed for the NCAA heavyweight championship against Walt Hendrickson in March. Lost that. Shockingly lost that. Incredible win by Hendrickson. Well, since then, he's became one of the most talked about, hottest prospects that will be joining the UFC. But there's one thing that has surfaced that I have did some digging. I did research of my own, and I want to give you guys my opinion on. We all know Gable Stevenson, two-time NCAA All-American champion, 4-time Big Ten champion, 2-time Dan Hodge Trophy winner, 2020 Olympic gold medalist, trained under the guidance of John Jones. I want to talk about an incident that happened in 2019 that I see is resurfacing as we get closer and closer to seeing Gable Stevenson fight in the UFC. Of course, you know how UFC fans are. You know how all sport fans are. We go digging and want to find out who these fighters are. And there's a little incident in 2019. Gable Stevenson and a buddy of his, surprisingly, that buddy wrestled at a school about 20 minutes from me. He wrestled my cousin. They were in the same weight class during those years. Him and that guy in Minnesota supposedly raped. I don't want to say the word. Starts with an R. Supposedly, they did something to a woman, okay? This woman says she was drunk. She didn't know what happened. And she reports it to the police. Gable Stevenson gets arrested. His buddy gets arrested, but never ends up getting charged. Because of, a lot of people would like to call it a loophole. You know, she was drunk. The state says that because she was drunk and she decided to drink the beer and be with them at the time, it's her own fault. Now, in my opinion, I'm not going to sit here and say that Gable Stevenson did this, because you know how females are. You know how females are, especially Gable Stevenson, popular dude. This girl, she's probably drunk. She's probably horny. She's probably like, yo, I'm with these 2 dudes. Let me, you know, bang them real quick. She wakes up. She wakes up. She's like, yo, that was a big mistake, and ends up reporting it. You never know, man. As a man, we've seen this happen many, many times. Now, if Gable Stevenson is guilty, then he's wrong. But in my opinion, I don't think he's guilty. And I see people making videos saying Gable Stevenson is a horrible human, that he's a bad guy. Oh, no wonder why he's training with John Jones. Come on, dude. Are you serious? Gable Stevenson, in my opinion, could be half of the fighters in the top 15 UFC rankings right now. Okay? We got a young prospect who came out of Clovis representing Fresno, California in the name of Josh Hoke. Okay, who I think Gable Stevenson would be able to beat that guy. All right? And should be able to beat probably up to the top 7, top 8 in the UFC rankings, and honestly could beat some of the guys up there. Okay? You got Jolton Almeida that's ranked up there. I would love to see Gable Stevenson take on Jolton Almeida. Now, I don't think it's time yet. I think Gable Stevenson is young in his career. He's 3-0. I see a lot of people saying, yo, he's fighting buckets, he's doing this. Bro, he's young in his career. You're dumb if you think that he shouldn't be doing this right now. This guy needs to build his career like this to get ready, because we all know the UFC is the real deal. What I see from a lot of fans is they look at Gable Stevenson, some guy who's been, you know, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. I think he was the youngest gold medalist to ever win a heavyweight championship in the Olympics, right? And I think people just look for a way to absolutely belittle this guy. They go digging and they're like, yo, let's look at some crimes that he did or something. Oh, this girl, she says that they gangbanged her and they Everybody just wants to look for ways to crap on the person that is at a high moment. And that's just how it is, bro. It's in boxing. It's in UFC. That's just how it is. It's in WWE. It's in every single sport. There's gonna be haters no matter what. All right? But in my opinion, he never got charged for it. You know how females are. He hasn't been involved in another altercation like that, right? Since we've seen. You see him do interviews. This is a respectful, good talking guy. Now, if something pops up later on in the future, then go ahead, go back to this video and say you were wrong. But in my opinion, I don't think so. I think Gable Stevenson is a future UFC top 5 fighter. I don't know if he has what it takes to become a UFC champion. If you give him 10 more amateur fights before you throw him in there, then maybe. But the way he's going, and he's talking about wanting to be on the White House card for 2026, I don't doubt if we see Gable Stevenson in the UFC by next year. That being said, in the heavyweight division, there's a lot of guys that you can match him up with. Like I told you, Josh Hoke is an amazing matchup. Somebody who's from California. Somebody who watched Josh Hoke wrestle at the Clovis High. Seen this guy go to Fresno State, play for the team, went to the 49ers. Same thing. Gable Stevenson never actually played, but was at the Bills for a month, whatever it was. At the end of the day, I'm not one of these dudes who's going to be sitting here hating on Gable Stevenson for something that he did to some female back then that he never got charged for. 2019. I mean, you got to show me more, man. Okay? For all I know, like I said, dude, we're all men here. We're not dumb. I heard somebody say, oh, if she's drunk, why would you even have sex with her in the first place? Man, I don't know. You're probably from the suburbs, okay? But over here, we're at kickbacks. Everybody's getting drunk. A girl's drunk. She gets horny. She wants to have sex. It goes down, okay? Now, as far as the R word, if he did that, then everything is completely wrong. But in my opinion, he didn't do that, my friends. I think everybody's looking at that and trying to just put it down on him and trying to belittle him, trying to make him look bad. And I'm not going to be one of those persons, man, because I'm the real deal, okay? I look at reality. I'm not being this fake thing that's, controlled by the internet and this and that. No, Gable Stevenson is one of the highest rated prospects that we have that's going to be joining the UFC, former Olympic USA gold medalist. And if you don't respect this guy, then it is what it is. Everybody has differences, okay? There's a lot of people in the UFC that some people don't like, some people do like, right? A lot of people don't like Bryce Mitchell. Some people say he's controversial. Sean Strickland. It is what it is. This is the sport. But I just wanted to touch up on that, my friends. Gable Stevenson got the left hook knockout yesterday. That's 3 in a row in 3 months. Excited to see him come to the UFC. And the day that he does hit the UFC, I know this is going to get more viral. This 2019 incident that happened to him, people are going to go digging. People are going to be making videos and content off of it, looking to expose him, make him look bad, create cool thumbnails, get views. Nah, my people. Not right here. My name is Alex Ramos. This is the MMA Boxing Addicts channel. Subscribe, and I'm out.